So hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Tanisha Chilladia and I have been trading Forex since few months. Initially I was in the Indian stock markets for a year and now I have been shifting to Forex markets due to many reasons. So I am testing out my supply and demand strategy. I'm using it and it is working very well in Forex market. So I'm gonna share my this supply and demand strategy with you guys. Before that, I'm gonna tell you my rules which I follow before you know following this strategy. I basically trade in the New York session. I basically trade in the New York session. The main time is from 6:30 to 8:30 and I'll be every day live with you guys, recording and telling you each and every of my live, each and every of my trades with you guys. I'll be taking trades with you only. Okay, following this simple strategy which I'm gonna share to you. Our main element or the pair which we are going to trade is gold. There are also other pairs in my watch list, but my main pair, because it's very much volatile, I'll be trading gold. And supply demand works very well on gold on 1 minute time frame scalping. Okay, I'll be scalping on a 1 minute time frame. Now let me show you my indicators first. Okay, the first one is this MTF supply and demand order block. It's this one, MTF supply and demand order blocks, okay, by JP7FX. And my second one is 3LS TTF. It is by the trend floor. So this gives me a signal when you see a three bullish or a bearish candle move, after which you see an opposite color candle engulfing the previous candle. Okay, like if I tell you this was a good bullish move wherein I see three consecutive green candles and then a very big red engulfing candle. So I get a signal on this red candle. Now we're not gonna trade every of this signal. We'll only trade signals near the supply and demand zones, which will be marked out by this indicator. Okay. Now basically let us move on for the strategy. See, mainly we move like this. Okay, so here we are going to have our supply and demand zones. For example, here when price came back in this supply, in this demand zone, it just bounced back, right? Again, here one more example. This was a supply zone. When price came back in the supply zone, it went back further down. Now you might be saying that what about this supply zone? This supply zone did not work here. As we see, the price just went down. So this supply zone, or you can even say them as order blocks, right? So this is the way the market moves. Sometimes it even gold is very very common for taking out liquidity. Here, this was a very good zone. What did we see? Here, the price came up, okay, indicating that it made a breakoff structure. It has made a new higher high. Maybe there will be people who are shorting down here, and there will be people who may long from here. So in dono, for these two, it hit their stop loss and went back down. Even not, it did not even respect this order block. See, did not respect that. Went down, and now it started its downtrend. So this is the way market works. So sometimes this is done by the big players to uh, you know hit the stop loss of retailers to get liquidity in the market. So what we are gonna trade basically is these supply and demand zones. If I'm trading this supply zone, my entry will be here, my stop loss will be here, and my target will be 1 is to 2. I'll trade my half of the positions, and a half of the positions will be out from this 1 is to 2. Okay. Similarly, from here, my supply zone, my entry will be here, my stop loss will be here, and I'll be targeting 1 is to 2. So this is the way we are gonna trade. Now these supply and demand zones have been marked by our indicator. Okay. So wait for the price to come and mitigate any of the supply or demand zones from where the price can reverse. But the most important thing about these supply and demand zones is the trend. So trend, if we write it down, the most important thing is following trend. Now how are we gonna identify trend? Most people on YouTube tell you to move onto a 4-hour time frame and check what is the trend. Here we see gold has been bullish since around a very long time. Okay, now the swing low is somewhere here, the swing high is somewhere here. I'm talking about 4-hour time frame. So still we can see that gold is still bullish. But as we are scalping on a 1 minute time frame, we do not need the trend, we do not need to know the trend which is on the 4-hour time frame. We'll see trend on 3 or 5 minute time frame. So if you're trading here, again see, this happened exactly what I was saying. Whenever the price wants to give a big move, a very big move, it takes liquidity above the high. This was sort of ranging market, and here there was a good amount of liquidity. Okay, the price came up, swept the liquidity here, and went bonkers down. You see, so liquidity is mainly seen in gold, as I said. So what do you see here? See, gold is making a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So in this period, suppose, okay, suppose if I'm getting an order block here, it's not, but let's assume that we had an order block here. This is a downtrend, right? So let's go to a 1 minute time frame. Here you will see many order blocks. Here do you see the code was in downtrend. On a 1 minute time also you could check it out. Okay. See, this was a trade which I took. Again, it was against the trend, but because I targeted 1 as to 2 or 1 as to 3, I did achieve my target. Here there was a supply, a demand zone. Okay, my entry was specifically here. I targeted 1 as to 3, stop loss here, and I did achieve it. Now, as we see, the price even broke this and made a lower high, a lower low. This signals us the price has moved into downtrend. Okay, we are scalping. We do not care about the higher trends, higher time frames. So now, somewhere might say, "He see here the trend has changed." My dear, the trend has not changed. The pullback you see, this was a pullback on which I took the trade. This was the fall. It was a pullback, and now what you see this are the minor, or you can say the internal structure. Okay, this is the internal structure. So when price breaks this, it is all the internal structure. We are in a downtrend. Okay, so now in this downtrend, there was an order block forming here. It's all shown up by the indicator. Okay, when the price retraced back into this indicator, one could short here, and you had a very good risk reward ratio. You want to see this? It was somewhere around 1 is to, you would even take it to 1 is to 5, or okay, it's all upon you till how much trend do you continue. So you easily received a 1 is to 5 R. The same thing you see here. Price went down. The price came back into our order block, or whatever you say supply zone. Again our entry would be here 1 is to 2 man easily achieved. And and sometimes the price will not move in your direction, or it will move in your direction, then come back and then make a bigger. Why do you think so? Because you see, this was the order block. It came back. It did went down. If someone safe playing 1 is to 2 would be easily achieved, and they would have exited their position. But someone who is targeting 1 is to 5, here and another order block was formed. A supply zone was formed. So price came back and it did into this supply zone and again went down. So this was in another trading opportunity. Okay, and now it's around 20, 26, 8, 8:30, right? So actually our time is done 6:30 to 8:30. But if still someone wants to trade, the price did come back into this order block. Do not touch, but yeah, you can consider it. Somewhere here your entry might be, you came back. But after 8:30 the price starts to consolidate, volume dries up, and that's the reason it's not advisable to trade after 8:30. Right now it's weekend, and so the price, you know market is closed. So this was all of my strategy. Trend is important, in which you could consider even a 5 minute or 3 minute trend. reduce scalping on 1 minute order blocks. Okay, this is what you need to follow. I have been telling all my rules like starting at 6:30. Will all be live tomorrow. Actually, on the sixth, seventh day. Yeah, seventh on Saturday, and we will be trading it together. Thank you.